You know, people think you're quiet, distant, mysterious, but they don't know the battles you fight inside. They don't know the childhood you survived, the thoughts that you silenced, the moments you stay strong when you should've collapsed. They see the surface, but they don't know how hard it is to reach you. Not because you don't care, but because life taught you not to trust what disappears. This one's for you. Yeah. Let's talk about it.
You've been walking through the shadows with your thoughts too loud, trying to hold yourself together when the world feels proud of breaking people like you, people with soft hearts and strong minds, people who smile for the crowd but bleed in private behind closed blinds. You don't ask for help cause you never learned how, raised on the idea that your tears were too loud. Even when you cried in silence, your pain didn't get applause, so you learned to hide it in the corners of your mind. Like stolen goods you're scared someone might find. You keep the world at arm's length just close enough to look normal, far enough so no one can hurt you, and deep down you wonder if anyone would stay if they knew the whole truth. You were taught to be strong, not the healthy kind, but the kind where breaking is forbidden, where emotions must be bidden, where your fun becomes a script you perform with precision, even on the days you're barely living. You think nobody sees you, but people do. They just don't know how to reach through the armor you grew. You know you're hard to reach, hard to open, hard to teach. You've been building all these walls so steep that even you can't climb them when you're feeling weak. You know you're hard to read, hard to trust, hard to keep, but you're holding on with everything. Even when you're hard to reach, even when you're hard to reach. You remember the moments that shaped you, the lies, the betrayal, the lessons learned too early. You remember the people who promised forever but left before morning. You remember trusting with your whole heart, only to watch it get torn apart by hands you would've died for. That's why you're careful now, that's why your heart stays guarded like a home with locks on every door and cameras on every corner. You weren't born distant, you became distant to survive, and now the distance follows you like a shadow you can't outrun, like a ghost that clings to your side even in the sun. You want connection, but connection terrifies you. You crave love, but love feels like a gamble where the house always wins and you're tired of losing chip spirit, so you push people away before they get close enough to hurt you again. You shut down conversations when they get too real. You joke when you're uncomfortable, you smile when you're in pain. You hide behind humor because the truth feels like too much to explain. Godfidence. You know you're hard to reach, hard to open, hard to teach. You've been building all these walls so steep that even you can't climb them when you're feeling weak. You know you're hard to read, hard to trust, hard to keep, but you're holding on with everything.